Hey. So it's finally here. The moment you've been waiting for. We finally got it started. It's the Love Them Normans podcast. I'm Kitty Norman, and I'm sitting here with my king.
D. Norman.
How you doing, Mr. Norman?
Doing wonderful, Mrs. Norman. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. So before we get started, I just want to send a disclaimer. I want you to note that Love Them Normans relationship podcast may contain mature content, including profanity, sexual language, and we're also plant friendly. This podcast is intended for adult audiences only and may not be suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised. Now that we got that out the way, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Love Them Normans is a podcast that is 20 years in the making, literally. We've been married for 15 years?
Yeah.
15 years? 15. He always says we've been married 22
years. Yeah. But you could say 15, but we've been married 22 years.
So, we've been, for technical purposes, Mr. Norman, just to be technical, we've been married 15 years and we've been together 22 years. And this first episode is basically, who are we? Like Snoop Dogg say, what's my name? Who are we? We are them damn Normans, and we've been together happily for all of those years.
Make sure you say happily.
Add that happily.
Make sure you say happily.
First name, last name. And we're going to talk about our story and how we met, our first couple of years in co-parenting in our blended family. So this is a conversation. I want y'all to listen up. You may catch some tidbits in there. This is our first episode, so bear with us. And we're about to take off. So keep your hands and arms in the vehicle and buckle your safety belts. Miss Norm, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So who gonna tell the story of how we met?
Me.
Okay.
You always tell it wrong.
What you mean I tell it wrong?
You tell it wrong.
Okay. Well, wait, first, let's get this out the way.
No. Actually, you could tell up to a certain point. Mm-hmm. You tell from the first 3 times, and then I'll take over
from the bus
front now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So when I first saw my husband, Mr. Norman, Mr. Derek Norman, y'all gonna think this is so funny. I knew that was my husband. Now, I wasn't a person that believed in love at first sight.
She told me that shit, too. I swear she did. I was like, she crazy. But it was true.
I knew that was my husband. The first time I saw my husband was in September of 1999, I believe it was. Yeah, 1999 at the Indigo Ballroom. Yeah. I was with a whole nother person at that time, and who shall remain nameless and faceless. But I was with a whole nother person at that time. And man, y'all, let me tell you, when I saw this man dancing, y'all already know how I am. I'm his biggest cheerleader. Like, I take all the videos. I be in the background. If you don't want your wife all in your videos. But the first time I saw him, y'all, he had on all black. And he was dancing. He was just doing his thing. And, babe, I tell you this all the time. My 2 god sisters was there, the twins. And I asked them, I'm like, who is that? And they like, girl, that's D. Norman. Like, you know, they his age. I didn't know how old you were at that time. Mm-hmm. But they know who that is. So that was one time I was stuck. But I didn't say nothing to him, y'all. I was cool because I was with somebody else at that time. And after that, I saw him 2 more times. I met him on West Grand Boulevard. We were at
the same twins.
My god sisters. Shout out to the twins, Robin and Rhonda. We was at my god sister's birthday party, and we were at a bar on West Grand. It was a hall on West Grand, and I think he had the flu or something like that. But
had the flu, but I was sick.
He was.
And I wasn't even gonna come, and cuz now made me come. Cause big cuz was there. So I ended up going, sick and everything. Still looking good though, like D. Norman, little guy.
Childish.
In case y'all know.
But, so I saw him again. One of my god sisters actually took me over there this time and introduced me to him. But like I said, he was a little under the weather. So he spoke, he was polite, but we never had a conversation. Now, the third time I seen this man, I was with my good uncle, Walt Baby Love. Anybody from Van Dyke know Walt Baby Love?
Butchie.
That's my Uncle Butchie. And I was coming from the store with my uncle. He was driving.
Yeah.
And he stopped to talk to D. Norman, and he was on my uncle's driver's side, and I was on the passenger side. He was standing outside the car, and he say, "Ooh, some like whose thighs are those, or what? Something like that.
Whose legs is them?"
And he was like, "Nigga, that's my neck. Get
and
fat."
I was like, "Okay,
you know."
I bagged off. Shit, okay. That's
so I met him 3 different occasions before we even formally said hello to one another. Ain't that something? That's divine timing. Okay, and then when I finally met him, when he finally introduced himself, we're going to see if he going to tell it right, y'all. Get your, wait. Get your popcorn, get your beverages, get everything, take your time, gather it up, because you're going to want to hear this shit. You ain't going to want to miss it. All right, Mr. Norman.
Well, what had happened was, one day I was at the crib. I was running out to my car to grab something in front of the house, and I seen her walking up the street.
I was coming up St. Cyril.
And I looked at her, and at first I didn't think nothing of it. Then I looked again like, damn, she cute. I couldn't tell how old she was or nothing like that at first, because she was
cute. Wow.
She was a distance away, but I could tell she was cute. She was fine, actually. So, D. Norman being who D. Norman is, I runs my little slick ass up on her. No, first I was like, yo, all that old bullshit. And she was like, nah, I don't do that. And kept walking. So I took off running behind her. Then when I finally caught up with her, you know, I'm trying to spit that game and all that shit. She ain't trying to hear none of that shit. The first thing out of her mouth was, I ain't looking for no man. I ain't trying to do nothing, so you wasting your time. And I was like, no, don't make me waste my time. So I asked her for her number, and she was like, no. Flat out, no. What? She meant what she said. So,
I don't know how I didn't know this was him, y'all.
So I'm asking her to take my number, and she like, no, I'm good. I ain't trying to do none of that. I'm good. I'm on my way to the dentist. I'll see you around. And she went on her way, and I was kind of disappointed at first. Mm-hmm. And I ran up in the house and told one of my big brothers, and that nigga was like, and you still sitting here? Like, why you sitting here? Go get her. So I'm like, damn. Man, I run out to the car. She told me where she was going, so I run out to the car, jump in my shit, fly up to the bus stop, who I see. She's standing there. I whip up, tell her I take her wherever she got to go. She like, dude, I do not know you. What make you think I'm going to get in your car?
I don't know you, man.
Man, I pulled out my whole fucking wallet, license, everything, gave it all to her.
Did,
like, you can trust me, man.
He did. He gave me his whole wallet. And y'all, back then, he was a street pharmacist. So that wallet was heavy.
Man, so I'm like, shit, I ain't that type of nigga, little mama. I ain't going to do nothing to you, and I'm going to take you where you going. I'm just a nice guy. That's what I do. And maybe I can get your number later or something. So when I gave her the wallet, I ain't sure then, but now looking back, thinking, I think she kind of had an idea who I was by her meeting me those 3 times. So I guess once she had that thought in her head, she was like, fuck it, I'm going to ride with him and see what's going on. But man, I'm taking her to the dentist. The whole time we in the car going to the dentist, she got my fucking wallet in her hand. Mm-hmm. Going through the motherfucker, looking through it, looking at everything, the whole night. I ain't give a fuck. I just wanted to holler at her. Mm-hmm. So.
But see, you say I don't tell her right, but you ain't tell her right. I was going to Mama's house first. And remember, we lived in Sherwood Forest.
I know. No, you was going to the dentist first.
Right. No, you didn't take me to the dentist. You pulled up in the driveway at Mama's house. And Mama seen who you was.
I dropped you off, baby. I dropped you off at your mama's house.
Right. Remember? That's what I'm saying. You said we was going to the dentist.
I picked you up at her house to take you to the dentist.
No.
I picked you up at the bus stop.
Yes.
Right.
But you messing up my story. See, y'all, this is why I don't let him tell the story.
Babe, I dropped you off at the dentist and picked you up.
No, you did not.
No, I didn't.
No.
So how did we get back together?
You pulled me up at Mama's house. You dropped me off at Mom's house. Y'all witnessing the famous Norman disagreement right now.
Okay.
You pulled up at Mama's house in the driveway on Canterbury.
I was coming to get you again.
Okay, so now I think you got it straight, y'all. So what happened? Tell us what happened.
You got it right.
Wait, pause. Let's hear it for the girls. That's one for me.
Yeah, you got it right.
Mm-hmm.
I
so
did
what
end up taking her to the house. Oh, excuse me. So when she got up to the door to go into the house, her mama opened the door. And then her mama looked out. I guess her mom was asking her who had dropped her off or whatever. She looking out the door, and she saying it was me. And she was like, oh, shit, that's Derek Norman. And I'm looking like, Buttercup, your mama?
Now tell everybody how you know my mama real quick.
Shit, your mama raised me. She was my babysitter when I was a kid. My mama was her mama best friend. Our family's been together forever.
And we never knew each other existed.
I had no idea who she was.
We never knew each other existed.
Never knew who she was. Never even know Buttercup had no damn kids, let alone 3. I never knew until I met my wife. But that's how that happened. Like I say, I dropped her off, Butter seen who I was. We hugged,
and
kissed,
she
and
approved. She approved. She was so happy.
And then from that point on, man, she can't leave me alone.
Oh, really? That's how you...
she don't need Norman drugs, man. She can't leave me alone.
Oh!
No, but I took her out. We went to dinner down at the...
Nicky's.
At Nicky's. We went to the show at the Renaissance.
That's back in the day, y'all, when the GM building was the Renaissance Center. Y'all don't know about that. Y'all little young babies.
We rode. I showed her how to smoke good weed, drink good liquor and champagne, and you know all that top-notch shit. Niggas from the east side of Harper Van Dyke.
Here we go. This don't got nothing to do with the price of tea in China.
Yeah, but shit, like I say, once I got with her, and at first it was kind of rocky or whatever, because I was on some bullshit.
Yeah, because we're talking about how we first met in our first couple years. Yeah. So once we got together, y'all, after the dentist, we had our first date, all that. We never have separated.
Never.
Since then, except for maybe 30 days, that one time. But that's going to come up later in our podcast. But we've never separated. We've never been apart. Never. Like, literally. So...
Married 22 years.
Yeah.
With and without paperwork. Married 22 years.
But that first year, y'all...
I gave her hell. I had just came out of some bullshit myself. And shit, I ain't know I was going to be with this lady for the rest of my life. Like she said, she knew.
Listen. It was rocky, y'all. It was no domestic, none of that shit.
No,
it was
no.
It was no mental abuse.
We just being honest. I was on some bullshit. Like I say, I didn't know I was gonna be with her, so I still was doing shit that I thought I was supposed to have been doing. But she actually showed me that I ain't need to be doing that shit. So once I paid attention to what she was saying and fuck everybody else, married 22 years.
So how did I show you that you didn't need to be doing that?
That's shit, by being what I needed. By showing me what I needed and telling me what I needed. Tell
them what that looked like.
My wife told me for the first 5 or 6 years, I ain't worried about it. Go on, do what you're going to do. You going to love me. You going to marry me. You going to do this. You going to do that. I was like, man, I had been married once before for like 2 years. I was saying I wasn't never doing that shit again because I called myself giving it my all and all that, and it just wasn't going to be worth it. I prayed to God. I looked myself in the mirror one day and asked God to send me what I needed. Not what I wanted, what I needed. And he sent her. I'm talking about in a rush too. And 22 years.
He wasn't ready, y'all. He wasn't ready.
No, I wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready. He asked God, and what God did was, God sent that shit Amazon today. You feel me? 2-day packaging. Yeah. You know how other brands, other businesses send that shit 2-3 weeks. If you one of them Alibaba people, I'm not an Alibaba person, you gonna wait 3-4 months to get what you want. Well, God sent it rapido. Yeah. Amazon today, and he was not ready, y'all. That first year for me was rocky. The first 4 or 5 years we was adjusting, but the first year was rocky because of them hoes, y'all. It was them hoes, y'all, and it wasn't that he was out in the open. He was disrespectful. He was dogging me. No. Y'all have to understand. I got treated like a princess. I've been working a job since I was 13 years old, y'all. My money was play money. My sisters and them could come play. My brother lived with us our first 10 years together. Whatever I needed, whatever I wanted, I never wanted for anything. I was never disrespected. I never fought no hoes. None of that. But the first year, y'all, like, let's say if we go out to a bar. We used to freak with like the State Fair Lounge, PPH. I'm talking about back in the day, y'all. If you from the east side of Detroit, Holiday Hall, all the cabarets at Holiday Hall, the Belle Isle Casino. Shout out to Denny Mo with them famous ass Valentine's Day. Post. Yes, them famous ass Valentine's Day cabs. And we used to get out. We used to be popping, you know, before we settled. So I go places, y'all, not knowing who the hell I'm looking at. It's hoes trying to bump me, trying to sidestep, trying to side. I pushed somebody across the floor, y'all. Lord forgive me, like a bowling ball one night. And it was just a matter of, I knew what I wanted. I knew what I was going to have. I knew what was mine. So that little bullshit during that first year, even if it was a first whole year, that little shit during that first year, I didn't mind. I just used to tell him all the time, baby, one day you're going to love my dirty, stinking, filthy drawers. And I'm not going to love you back. But I was wrong about that second part, y'all, because we end up loving each other's drawers. And that's just how it went. So let's talk about our family. And let's talk about how I fell in love with, when I met him, y'all, I didn't have any children. I was 19. I met my husband December 6, 2000, officially. Yeah. Officially, we said hello that day, December 6, 2000. And I didn't have any children because I was very careful and discerning. I didn't want no now by nobody that I had dealt with at that time. So I was very careful and discerning. And y'all, not only that, I was young, enjoying my life, living, having fun, and just being in my youth. So I wasn't worried about that. And furthermore, I ain't had nobody who was worthy. That's just being real. So, y'all, my husband my now husband, he had 2 little boys, Derek Jr. and Derico. And when I met Derek Jr., after I left the dentist that day, when I went to meet Derek Jr. opened the door at the house. Now, y'all, keep in mind, picture this in your mind. My grandmama lived on Cary Street. For them that's on the east side of Van Dyke, y'all know where that's at. Cary between Strong and Miller. My husband's mom and grandmama stayed on Frontenac, the next fucking block.
Never seen each other.
We never saw each other. We never saw each other. Never knew each other existed, which was crazy. So, Derek opened the door, Derek Jr. Oh my God, when I saw this kid, when I saw his fucking cheeks and he had dimples and we look alike and he was just chubby and yellow. He was like me. You feel what I'm saying? So I fell in love immediately. When I met that motherfucking Derico, baby, my heart melted. That boy is a splitting image of my husband. And he was like a miniature version. And he was just, he could dance, sing, just everything. He was just like everything. And then Junior was calm and cool, man. We had such a good relationship. I had such good conversations with them. And ultimately, that's what made me fight it out. That's what made me stay. That's what made me deal with certain shit. My love for them, I tell him all the time, I fell in love with the boys first. Yeah, she did tell me that. I fell in love with the boys first. I love them with my whole heart. Yes. Shout out to Junior and Rico. Mama love y'all. Yes, yes. Mama love y'all. So, Mr. Norman. Yes, ma'am. Let's talk. Let's chat. We talking, we chatting. We here. We here. It's Love Them Normans. I hope y'all enjoying it. I hope you tuning in. I hope you tag the friend. I hope you share the post. Don't be no hater because, you know, it's free. Well, don't call them haters, baby. No. I'm not calling nobody nothing. Okay. Let's use proper English. I'm saying don't be no. Like my mama when we was kids, you know, y'all know them 80s mamas and them 90s mamas. They'll tell you what you acting like. They won't call you that, but they'll tell you what you're acting like. You're acting like a real bitch right now. No, you're not a bitch. That's not what I'm calling you. That's what you're acting like. So what I'm saying is don't be a hater. Yeah. If you're listening, you like it. I hope so. If you're listening, if you've been listening 19 minutes and 23 seconds, you like it. Yeah. I don't care. Yeah. Or you're nosy. But either way, share with somebody else. Share, yes, you're more than welcome because that's what this is for. Yeah. This is 20 years in the making and we giving it to you raw. We ain't covering up nothing. No, ain't nothing to cover up. Everybody know it ain't shit to cover because it's so real. They know who we are. And one thing I want to say, y'all, we act like this for real. Like, we really love each other. Like, we really fuck with each other. Like, this is really my best friend.
And for those of y'all that really know that, that's close to us, that really know that, can y'all believe there's people out here that think we actually come out and act?
Who got time for that, though?
They say it's phony and fake. It's been phony and fake for 22 years, 23 years. That's a long phony fake.
Man, it's so much out here, but this episode ain't about that. We gonna
right. Come on, stay on track.
We gonna stay on track, Mr. Norman. Okay,
so we have the conversation.
No, you are good, babe. Yeah. I'm just saying because that's for another episode. Right, that's why I don't want to get. I don't want to dig down in it because that's we gonna say that. We gonna you put it in your pocket. You put it in your pocket. Okay. Hold on to that.
I got it.
So I want to know, what are 2 valuable things that you learned from me in the first 5 years? 2
valuable things
in the first 5 years.
In the first 5 years, the first thing I learned was that I really could have the relationship that I thought I could have with somebody else, but they just wasn't the right person. Okay. They wasn't the right person, and it wasn't the right time. So definitely that, number 1. And number 2 is that I can love somebody the way that I love you, and that somebody can love me the way that you love me. I don't think I ever believed it. So, and I've watched it for 22 years.
You trying to make a real nigga cry on this podcast, but I ain't gonna do it chin up. I'm in this bitch like Uncle Jerome on Snowfall.
That's real though.
Chin up, soldier.
And can I add one more on to that second part?
Yes, you can do it. You can add whatever you want.
Or it could be 3.
You can add whatever you want.
That I could trust you. I'm talking about really, really fucking.
How you know you can trust me, D?
Hey, because let me tell y'all something, man. Let me tell y'all something right now about women. Well, not about women, but about my woman. Oh. About my wife. The type of guy that I was when we got together and the things that I was into, she could have been a totally different woman. Took advantage of different situations, all types of shit. But you know what my wife did? Every single time somebody was disrespectful, whether they was close to me or not, and a lot of them was close to me, supposed to be family, friends, the whole 9. Motherfuckers was trying to get with my wife behind my back.
Dirty.
But you know what my wife did? Instead of going for that shit or doing some shit behind my back and letting it come out later and all that, my wife came to me, and I don't know, some of y'all might not know this too, but my wife came to me every single time.
I told on all y'all.
She told on everybody. She told on niggas I ain't even know.
All y'all, even the ones who don't like me and don't speak to me right now. I told on your ass too.
Man, and when I realized that, like, I ain't had to ask her. I never had to ask her nothing. I could be thinking that shit or just have it on my mind. Somehow, some way, she knew. I was getting answers. Listen to what I'm saying, people. I was getting answers before even asking the questions. Don't let that go over your head. Say it again. I was getting answers before I ever even asked the question. So when you got it like that and you don't know that you got it like that, you're supposed to lose it. But being a smart young man, intelligent guy that I am,
that Jeanette raised. Shout out to my mama Jeanette Norman with Mama Jeanette,
Grandma Washington.
Rest in peace, Grandma.
Man, hey. When I realized that, when I seen that, that was all I needed to see. It was over from there. I didn't give a fuck, care, love, nothing for nobody else but her. And I've been showing her that shit for 23 years. Never had an outside relationship, never had an outside kid, ain't never had no bitches calling, playing on her phone, coming to her house, none of that. And I can go, me and my wife can go anywhere.
Yes.
Never ducking and hiding.
That's true.
Head up high, hair looking good.
Yes.
Clothes looking good, smelling good.
Come on, love them Normans.
Never had to fold because I never had shit to hide.
I love them Normans.
And everything that she needed to find out, she found out in the beginning, and I let her.
Well, the thing is, see, y'all, with that, when we first got together, and I know y'all like, how he never had no outside relationship?
Nothing.
All them ladies was there first. You feel me? My husband was a single man. Like I said, he was working in the streets. He was street employed. And, you know, he lived a faster type of life. So all of those players were already in their positions. You understand what I'm saying? So when I came in, What you need to put? We plant friendly, y'all. He put the herb. He go the herb, y'all. We plant friendly. I love them Normans. So what occurred is, y'all. I forgot to tell y'all. I moved in the first couple weeks.
2 weeks later.
The first couple weeks after our first date, I moved in, and what happened was he had a cordless phone. Ameritech was his people's. And what happened was my husband would not turn the ringer off, not tell people not to call.
House phone, y'all.
Yep, landline.
Back in the day, baby.
He told me to answer the phone and say what I want to say.
She asked me, what should I say if I answer? Well, first of all, she asked me, do you want me to answer the phone? And I said, yes, babe, you live here, answer your phone. She said, well, if one of them girls called or something, what you want me to say? I said, and I did this on purpose. I told her, you tell them whatever you want to tell them. You here. They not. You live here. They don't. Tell them whatever you want to tell them. Shit.
Man, people was losing their motherfucking mind, y'all. It was one lady, we gonna call her Ray Ray, just for radio purposes. Y'all, this lady told me, she was telling me all this stuff, all this nasty stuff. She called, can I speak to D? And I'm like, no, he's not here right now. You know who's calling? Because I'm 19, y'all. Hey, fine. Y'all that know me out there, y'all already know, but big, fine, bad. So I'm nice. I'm chipper. I don't have no problem with nobody. So I'm like, he's not around me. I take a message. She's like, who is you? So I told her who I was. You understand what I'm saying? I'm the lady of the house, this and that and other. Man, y'all, she started telling me about escapades and all that. I said, ma'am. Because I was 19. Ma'am, he's not here right now. I'm here. You're not here. So you're going to have to talk to him on your own time. Have a good day. Man, that lady was on fire, y'all. That lady was on fucking... It's a fire, as they say. But back to the lecture at hand. What are two valuable things we learned from each other in the last 5 years? So one thing that's valuable to me that I learned is from my husband is once you're done crying, the problem is still going to be there. Ooh, did y'all hear me? Once you're done crying, the problem is still going to be there. So when I was younger, I met my husband. I was 19. He was 32. I know y'all don't like that age difference, but I was fucking grown.
Mind your business.
Right. I was fucking grown. And
it ain't going to work for everybody. I'm sorry. That just worked for me.
And we doing probably much better than people that are the same age. Yeah. It's just, it happened like that. It wasn't chemistry. It was alchemy. So there you go. But he taught me that. I used to, just everything used to upset me and piss me off. And I used to get so mad. I used to cry because I'm a Scorpio. Shout out to my Scorpios out there. But I used to get pissed off because I couldn't put my hands on people. I couldn't just go around put my hands on everybody. So I would cry because I can't fuck you up, basically. And he would tell me, like, once you done crying, you know what I'm saying, still going to be there. You need to learn how to use your words or think, you know what I'm saying, think more out of situations. He taught me that. And y'all, the next valuable thing my husband taught me was patience. That's very important. And partly because he tested my patience, but at the same time because if I hadn't waited and been patient and worked through the things we need to work through, and them in that first year as far as infidelity, and in the next couple years as far as getting to know each other, we wouldn't have over 20 years. Them little couple of years don't mean shit. They pale in comparison to what we've built and what we have and what these years have been. So those are the two things that my husband taught me.
Okay.
So next, D. Norman, when did you know you loved me? Like, not when you told me. I'm talking, when did you know in within yourself?
I knew I loved you when you, let me see. Well, basically when, like I say, when you told me all that stuff, but when I really knew I loved you, is when we separated for them 30 days. Yeah, when I went, first of all, when I knew I loved you, yes. I went to jail for 30 days. I left her in my house. Man, you, 45 days. And man, you, I just met her now. Don't get it twisted. I just met her still.
He met me in December. This was February.
Yeah, this was still within the, 3 months?
Yes.
2 months?
Yes.
So I go to jail. I get 45 days in the county. She stay at my house. She got access to the money. She got access to the safe.
Yes.
She got access to the house.
Yep.
Everything is hers for this 45 days.
Everything been mine.
And she took well good care of my ass, dog. Never had a nigga in my house. I never heard nothing. Put it like that. I mean, I ain't even...
What happened to the people that owed you money?
Oh, yeah, let me tell y'all this story, what she did. Yeah, let me tell y'all. Oh, y'all, it gonna take my cousin, too, to tell this. So, I'm in jail, right? They finally give me a bond and everything after my first court date. They give me a bond, which was about 10 to 12 days after I got locked up. She come to court. She hear my bond, everything. I go back to the back. Everybody done. She go through the hood. She go get one of my favorite little cousins. I ain't going to say his name on the podcast. I'm going to have to ask him if I can say his name.
Shout out to my cousin.
Little cuz, you know who you is, though, boy. I love you. So her and my little cousin was tight.
We are tight.
But we going to get to that. But anyway, she called my cousin, man. Tell him come get her. She finna go pick up some money from me. Now, when cuz tell me the story, he like, cuz, I'm thinking she going somewhere where you done drop something off and, you know, it's time to pay up. So, and he asked her, do he need to bring something? And she like, yeah, bring it. So.
By bring some, y'all, he means a water gun.
So he bring
Quote, unquote.
So he bring it. Like I say, he think he going somewhere. He don't have no clue, but he finna protect her because she mine. Man, he say she pull up to a few certain places that he had no clue she was coming.
Y'all, if you listening, y'all know who I came to. I went on Helen. Yeah. I went a couple more places, but y'all know who. If you listening, you know who I'm talking to.
She pulled up on a few people like, empty them motherfucking pockets and go get my motherfucking man. Everybody played broke. Mind you, there's a bunch of niggas that I'm feeding at the time. But what she don't know is why she was out here moving like that, which I appreciated with all my motherfucking heart and soul. She know it too. She know it. What she done that day. She know how I feel about her about that. But what she didn't know at the time was I was already sitting and thinking and knowing that it was over for me anyway.
Because it didn't make sense. He had already served
33 months, 2.5 years.
No. I'm talking about on this one, the 45-day one.
Oh.
He had already served most of the time. He only had 2 weeks left, 14 days. So he was telling me like it wasn't even no point. He was just sitting. Why pay that money and he had 14 days?
Well, no, I'm saying as far as what I was thinking when I was locked up. That you didn't even know at that time. Remember, I told you, I was done with that shit anyway. I wasn't going back to the street.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't going back to the street. When I came home, she was pregnant, y'all, when I went to jail.
Mm-hmm.
She was, no, not, was that time? Yeah, that was.
No, it was the second time.
The second time. The second time she was pregnant, yeah. But the first time, yeah, when I was locked up, and she ended up coming to court. A whole bunch of shit go down in court. We about to get put out this motherfucker.
Because we was doing kissy faces. We was telling each other we love each other. And they threatened to put me in contempt of court.
They told me they was going to shoot my ass to the back. Miss my court date. But I go to court. I get a bond. That's when she go crazy on everybody to get the bond money. Then when I come back to court to get bond out at my last court date, I'm telling her I ain't bonding out. I got 2 weeks left, like 10 days. What the fuck I'm spending that money for? I'm going to sit here. You been good all this time. Do what you been doing.
Oh, I was straight.
I'm going to sit for these 10 days and I'll be home. And that way, I don't owe nobody nothing. Ain't nobody got to collect none of that. I don't owe nobody nothing. Mm-hmm. And my people even tried to come get me and I refused it. Nah, keep that. Keep that. You good. We good. I'm going to sit these 10 because I needed that last 10 days to really assure myself that I was through with that shit. I was too old for that. I'm not going to be 30 or 40 going in and out of fucking jail and prison. It don't make no sense.
You're
so
absolutely
I was done. And it was time to me to focus on what God had just sent me. I kept looking past it, looking at it, but I'm looking past it. Now, that's all I can see. So, and that's how that shit worked out.
So there you go. So y'all know I'm Trill, right? from listening from listening to his point of view, y'all know I'm trill, right? No, it was just honestly alchemy. And then it wasn't only that, it's that, like he said, my mother and my aunts babysat him. His mother and his grandmother babysat my mother and aunts.
Hell
my
yeah.
my grandmother and his mother were best friends.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's destined. That's a destiny. That's a bloodline. That's something different.
That shit was supposed to happen. And I'm glad. I thank God every day that I paid attention. A lot of motherfuckers have what they need right in front of them and don't pay attention. And then when they see somebody else with it, it fucks their world up. Well, D. Norman wasn't doing that. I hit the lottery, give me my ticket, give me my prize, I'm getting the fuck on. And that's what it was.
You ain't showing your face.
Fuck all that. For what? I got what I need.
You ain't gonna do like Martin and Gina when they hit the lottery.
Fuck all that. You won't see me. I took my shit and ran.
What was it? They was playing Money by the OJs.
Hell yeah. I took my prize and ran. Fuck, this for me? Merry Christmas to me? Shit, I'm out. Thank you. Not to mention, she bad, fine, all that.
Don't start.
It wasn't no bunch of shit I had to put together.
Don't start.
My wife, and another way how I know I loved you was because when we woke up one morning. And this motherfucker was pretty straight out of her sleep. Y'all hear what I said? She was pretty straight. I'm sitting here looking at her like, did this motherfucker get up and
he asked me, y'all, for real, in real life, y'all, no lie, right hand to God. He asked me, did I get up and like wash up my face and brush my teeth? And I'm like, hell no. Like what? No.
And I knew right then and there. But I'm going to tell y'all something. I say that
How you know that?
Because my granddaddy told me one time.
Your granddaddy who?
My granddaddy Washington. George Washington. We was having a conversation one time. He was talking to me about ladies and all that stuff, you know, all that stuff. But he said something that always stuck to me. Mm-hmm. My grandma said something too that always stuck to me, but we'll talk about that later. But right now,
we ain't gonna tell him.
Yeah. My granddaddy told me, if you can't wake up with her, don't lay down with her.
Wait, what your granddaddy said? Say it one more time. Excuse me. All the young men, little boys, 15 and up, because 15 you thinking about girlfriends right about now, and up that's dealing with girlfriends. What did your granddaddy tell you?
My granddaddy told me, if you can't wake up with her, don't lay down with her. Mm. And that did something to me as not a kid, but a young man.
Right.
It made me look at a woman and a situation, I guess, totally different than I would look at it at the age I was at the time that he told me that. Right. So that was something very important to me. Like I say, it's something that I'll never forget. I'll never forget that. Mm-hmm. If I lose my memory tomorrow, I will always remember my granddaddy told me that. And it came to good use for me because one of the first things I noticed about my wife is that she was beautiful. And that was from a far distance. Mm. So once I got up on her, it was like, damn, she fine as hell.
Oh, thank you, babe.
Shit. And she been fine every day for 23 years.
Babe, thank you.
You're welcome, baby. It's the truth.
That just makes my heart flutter. It's crazy how I still feel like that. We've been together.
It's the truth.
We've been together so long.
We've been together so long. When other men look at my wife and try to side eye and all that, I have a good time with it. I laugh. I let some old men try to spit their game one time, and then I walked up behind them, and I was like, she bad as hell, ain't she? Like, I ain't know her. And they like, hell yeah, she bad. I was like, that's me. Showed them my wedding ring, went over, patted on the booty. They was like, you ain't shit, dog. I was like, I feel you.
My husband had so many people walk up to him.
Man.
He had some little boys at Joe Louis Post sing. They sung a bad Mike Jones song to him. I'm looking for a dime. All that crazy kind of stuff. A guy, man, that's too much. We're going to talk on the next episode. But he's satisfied, I guess I can say that.
All the way.
And I'm happy.
1,000%.
I'm grateful. I'm satisfied as well. Everybody knows that, though.
And I get a pleasure out of telling women that ain't nothing you could do for me.
Oh, what's poppin'?
And don't make me go as far as pull my phone out and show you a picture of her. There's nothing you can do for me, sweetheart. Nothing.
Y'all, it's nothing. So many people that I don't know or that I may have said hi to maybe he worked with you or some shit like that, or no matter how he know. There's so many people that done told me they done seen pictures of me, y'all, and I don't know these people. And I don't understand. When I met his crew from work, they like, he talking about you too much. Like, man, oh my God. But yeah, y'all. So the next question. Let's go ahead, Mr. Norman.
Let's go.
What's one toxic trait of mine? Y'all. I'm gonna get on me. On me. What's one toxic trait of mine early on? Like the first 1 to 5 years.
1 to 5 years?
The one toxic trait.
She was crazy, y'all.
Ain't that a bitch?
She was crazy.
That's broad.
She was crazy.
Define that.
Man, she was crazy. That motherfucker used to try to fight me, all kind of shit. Just, you name it.
And I'm not even gonna say it was warranted.
She hit my motherfucking cousin with a dresser drawer.
I'm sorry, no, for real. My cousin Slammy. Yes, I love you so much. That's my cousin, babe. Like I love Slammy.
Cause he was defending me. She hit this nigga, man.
No, for real. Cause D Norman was trying to be slick, y'all. This back when Mama had the Eagle. Feel me? He parked his car. He get Mama car, the Eagle. Why you in the white Eagle Premier? What are you doing? So we supposed to be going to hang out. He like, oh, I'm gonna drop you off, or where you? What? Who? And I wasn't going home. I went around Kelly house to be funny. Shout out to my girl Kelly Rose off Concord. But we pull up. He like slamming, trying to stop us from arguing. He like, cuz, just get out the car, this and that, because I'm going off on D Norman Ave. Y'all, I'm out the car. We still talking. He on the driver's side. I'm on the passenger side. I come to the driver's side because that's how he was parked in front of her house. His car, my side was towards the street. My cousin get out the back driver's side to get in the front seat. And he said something like, yeah, because your ass crazy anyway or something. That's why we drop you off something. I don't know what my cousin said. But y'all know how a dresser drawer made, the front panel where the knobs be. My homegirl family, they had threw one out. They was done with it or whatever. Man, I picked up the front of that bitch, the front panel, and I went back like hacksaw Jim Duggan on his ass. And I went across both his kneecaps, and my cousin tall as hell. He like 6'5". No lie, y'all. And he's skinny as hell. I told him kneecaps up. He was like, oh, he went down, grabbed his knee, like, cuz, get her. You know, I was like, you crazy. See why you do that? He trying to talk to me. I was threatening both of their ass. I used to terrorize them. I'm sorry, y'all.
But she grew out that shit. She grew out that shit fast, too.
I used to terrorize them. I apologize, too.
She was a spoiled fucking kid, though. Because I had spoiled her from day one. She had already been spoiled by her granddaddy. Then once he died, it was like I came right behind him, picked up where he left off. So she got extra fucking spoiled. She was spoiled as fuck, man. So,
he promised my grandma, though.
Yeah, I did. I promised Grandma Rose I was going to take care of you. Her grandma told me.
Rest in peace, Mama Rose and Baby Joe.
Her grandma told me, do you love my granddaughter? I say yes. She say, do you plan on being with my granddaughter? I say yes.
She say good, because if you don't, you could get the fuck on right now. Period.
Leave her alone. And I was like, no, Grandma Rose, I promise you. She was like, and I'm going to hold you to that. And I'm the ononly man to this day besides Grandpa Joe that been in the bed with Grandma Rose.
He always say that bull crap. He always say that, y'all.
Because she loved me.
Like, he was my grandma boyfriend.
Yeah,
he was Sagittarius. My granddaddy was Sagittarius. My daddy, shout out to Kenny motherfucking Mac Williams. Yeah, my daddy is Sagittarius. So, you know, I'm sport. They love me. All of them. I got to call my daddy tomorrow, too. He going to cuss me out. Okay, so what's one thing that I helped you to overcome?
No, you ain't do your trait. For me, I guess.
Okay, so your toxic trait in the first year, one toxic trait of yours. Run. Every time I wanted to have a conversation, communicate, anything serious, talk about them hoes, what you was doing, whatever, you want to run. You don't want to talk about it. Like, you was not, and I'm glad for that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how at that time. I'm glad. I understand that now, baby, but that's what we saying, the toxic trait at that time. I understand now, you know what I'm saying? I'm grateful that you were you would do more of an avoidance than being like abusive or aggressive, or you weren't like that, but you just didn't want to go there. Like, you ain't want to get mad. Like, everything was cool as long as it was happy, but you didn't want to go in depth. you didn't want to talk about the hard shit. And I was all about dissecting. That was my whole thing. I wanted to talk about the hard shit because I felt like it was going to help us get to know each other faster. So, yeah, that was your, it worked. That was your toxic trait back then. Now, what's one thing that I helped you to overcome?
Shit, a lot of shit. Ain't no one thing.
But what's one thing you could think of, or in general?
Oh, the main thing that you helped me overcome?
Yeah.
Shit, was basically really believing in myself. Believing in myself as far as certain things and manifesting.
Okay. Elaborate a little bit.
Like, used to always tell me shit like, stop saying and doing it in a negative way. Be more positive and more discerned about it, and it'll come too. And over the years, I've learned and watched it happen in that exact manner. So I respect it now. I got a whole nother respect for it.
You gotta respect it. Check it. I love that shit, D-Norman.
But that's one of the best things too, though, because just for me to be older, I guess everybody would expect I knew everything and all that. I ain't know shit. I learned a lot of this shit along the way with you.
Well, you knew a lot of stuff. Yeah. It just was...
No, but I ain't know what I needed to know.
Right.
I just knew some worldly shit and all that.
Right.
I thank God that my mind was stronger than most or a lot of these other people that go along with that shit, and I wasn't scared to be different. Yeah. If everybody went left, I was never scared to go to the right.
Yeah. That's
by myself.
For sure.
By myself.
For sure.
So that's basically what it was like for me being with you. Like, even though I've been through this, I've been down this whole fucking road, and this how it turned out, for some reason, at this point, at this time, with this person, I'm supposed to go this way. I ain't supposed to do what everybody else was doing, what I see them doing, what I think I'm supposed to be doing. For some reason, I was believing, fuck all that. Go over here. Go over here, stay over here. Go over here, stay over here. Fuck them. Go over here, stay over here.
For sure.
And it worked for me for 23 years. The best decision I ever fucking made. Ain't nothing nobody could tell me. I ain't missed nothing. You can't tell me I missed nothing.
That's heavy.
In the last 23 years, I ain't missed shit.
That's heavy.
Because I done had everything.
That's heavy, dude.
I had everything. So, and I still got everything. And I got what most of you motherfuckers want anyway.
See, let's
just be real. No, fuck that. Let's just be real.
We raw. We raw. This is Love Them Normans podcast. We are rough, rugged, and raw.
Everywhere we go, 5 or 6 men, 3, 4, 5 women.
That's
all
true.
Looking in
That's
lust.
true.
And I just laugh.
That's true.
But what
and some are even bold enough, like if one of us turn our head, or like if I go look at some jewelry, or he go look at a jacket or something, they'll try to like
run up.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers to run up, but
and get done up.
I don't worry about it. She gonna embarrass you, dog. You better take no.
And that's what I mean by done up.
You better take no.
I'm just gonna let you know it's a no.
She gonna embarrass you.
It's a pure no.
And I get a kick. I get a fucking kick, like a horse kick. I get a kick out of looking at these ladies and being like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm married, and I'm happily married." I make sure I say that.
Y'all,
there's a difference in being married and happily married.
He's had, somebody run up on him and be talking to him. And this man will point across the mall. If I'm in Victoria's Secret, it'd be like, her, right there. There she go. It's her. I'm with her. And I'm looking like, what the fuck is he doing? And she just looking at me salty, and I can't hear across the mall. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And he walk up smiling like, yeah, babe. I just told her. And she giving me the side eye like, what the... Man, listen, y'all. It's Trill. He had one young... I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. There was one young lady who, it got weird. He was messing with this chick already before I knew him, y'all. And once we started kicking it, once we became Kendi and D, because that's who we became as soon as we met, like immediately. Once we became Kendi and D, y'all, she had to go her way. You understand? And it was a whole little like standoff or whatever, but not between us. Like it wasn't a physical thing. It was like she didn't want to go, and he like go. So y'all, eventually, like after we had our first son, our first son, because we used to be at the casino, at Belle Isle Casino, at the cabarets. This girl would be everywhere, y'all. If I be at Macomb, I worked at Macomb Mall, Foot Action. Shout out to Bryce, my old manager. If I be out at Foot Action, if I'm out at Foot Locker at Eastland, rest in peace, Eastland. Shout out to TK, my old manager for Foot Locker. Wherever we at, this girl will pop up, y'all. No bullshit. Like, whether, like, outside my store, where I helped her one day at Foot Locker, and the shit was just weird. And it just made me know, y'all, that, like, it's something absolutely fucking special, because why would all these people be tripping like this? Like, everybody either love it or absolutely hate it, and it don't make us no fucking difference, because we seriously, in all actuality and reality, live in our own fucking little world, our own bubble. I still be missing my husband when he gone. I still get excited when I hear him pull up. Well, his truck don't make noise, but his keys do. But when I hear him coming to the house, I get excited. Like, I still get butterflies when we go out. We still go hang out. Like, it's still real. It's still new. It's still love. And
it's one long ass honeymoon so far.
Yeah,
tell
man.
The truth.
Even the hard shit, y'all.
And don't get it
even
twisted.
The hard shit.
We argue all that
but
shit.
But babe, be honest. Tell the truth. We don't really argue.
I'm just saying.
We disagree, and you be like, well, you can talk to yourself.
What I'm trying to say is, though, we never get. Fuck that. We never get to the point to where when we get mad at each other, we need to go be with some fucking body else. If I'm mad at you, you know what? Take your ass in the other room for a minute.
Shit, I got an office, y'all.
Go in the kitchen. Go in your office. Shit.
I ain't never mad, y'all.
I ain't going no fucking way.
Listen, y'all. Listen, real quick. I would take 30 seconds, less than 30. I got a chase in my office, fresh hydrangea flowers, Chanel flower boxes, pictures of me every fucking where, a Cricut, a printer, a shredder, just never mad, y'all. I got an office. I got a glass desk. Like, it's nothing for me to come in here, a big picture window that opens outward, and I could talk to the sun all fucking day long, because y'all know I'm not from here. But anyway, y'all, we got one more question, and we're going to wrap it up. Last question of the day, Mr. Norman. Can you give us our last question, please? I gave all the other questions.
The last question of the day is going to be, why did you choose me then and now?
So why did I choose you, and why do I choose you? I chose you then because you was jitting, and I just... Y'all already know Detroit how I be. Like, when I be on camera, and I be like, hit that shit, D, burn these niggas. Like, I'm here cheerleading, because I can't believe my husband is 54. All jokes aside, like, seriously, my husband is 54 years old. He'll be 55 in December. And he be smoking when he jit. Like, and this man, like, don't got a wrinkle, and he a vampire, like, for real, and it's just a whole bunch of other shit. But I chose you because I saw you now then.
Mm-hmm. You always say that.
I knew he was gonna be. I was like, ooh, this is gonna be my perfect partner. This is gonna be my partner for my mission. We going where we need to go. We going up. I don't give a fuck what he talking about right now. What shell? Because we shed our shells, and I'm a Scorpio, so I believe in death and rebirth. When people say death, I don't mean the physical death where you die and you don't come back. I mean death as in, that's the old me. That shit if you knew me a year ago, this is Mrs. Norman talking. If you knew me a year ago, you don't know me. Because I believe in death and rebirth over and over and over again. I recreate myself till I get where the fuck I want to be. Mm-hmm. Same with our relationship. Mm-hmm. So that's one reason. That's why I chose you then. And now, it only makes sense. If it's been this good all the time, and we're steady expanding, we're steady evolving, we're steady growing upon this shit, we're steady building upon it. And then not only that, we got our kids watching us. So we steadily growing upon it and building it up. It only makes sense. It feels good.
That's what it's supposed to be.
It feels good. Why not choose you now? Who else the fuck I'ma choose? We best friends.
That's how I feel.
We best friends, and it's not a complacent thing. It's not a comfort thing where I feel like I can't get or I couldn't be. It's a thing where this is what I choose. Yeah. I choose you over and over again. Yeah. Okay, your turn. Shit. Why did you choose me then and now?
That's basically the same thing for me.
Oh, you gonna copy my paper?
No, I'm just saying. I'm playing. That's some real shit, though. I mean, we can go into it a little more, I guess, but that's some real shit. Shit. Some shit just... But that's what I'm saying, though. See, that's Norman. Like when people ask me for advice, and not so much as advice, but they'll say, like, how do you do it? I can't tell you how I did it because what worked for me might not work for you. Mm-hmm. You might not be willing to make the sacrifices or go through what my shoes had to walk in to get to where I am now. You might not be willing to do that. So if you really deep down inside not willing to do that, if you're not willing to do that, then why waste your time? So I don't really have no advice for you. I could give you my story, and you could do as you please with it. That's the only thing I could tell you. Mm-hmm. But some stuff is just in life supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. Some stuff's supposed to happen.
Some shit is meant to be.
You could be riding up the street, about to stop at a light, realize something, pull over right quick, the car behind you go through the light and get hit. You could really meet somebody at a point in your life, and it could be your lowest, your highest, or whatever. You could meet this person at a point in your life and end up 23 years later still married in a wonderful, happily marriage.
Excuse me. 420.
A lot of people look at it and aspire for and all that, but just don't know how to have it. Yeah, it's a reality. It's a reality.
But it's a lot more of us out here.
Trust me, man. I never thought, after my first marriage, my wife would tell you I was done. There ain't no getting married, none of that shit. I'm going to play, I'm going to do what I do. Y'all. Fuck that. And that's because...
She fried him in fish grease, y'all.
And that's because in my first marriage, I gave everything like the woman usually do. Mm-hmm. And it kind of fucked me up the way it ended. Right. So I never thought I'd see that again. But, like I say... God brought me my wife, and that's where I've been.
And you seem better.
And definitely better.
Definitely better, because I leveled up.
Definitely better.
Well, y'all, love them Normans. It happened. It's the first episode. We did it. It's done. It's out. It's here. Some of our secrets is out here. Some of our advice is out here. Some of our experiences are out here. And it's done. We said we was going to do it. I've been wanting to do it for years, but Mr. Norman agreed in 2023, and it's a new year. We're doing new things. So I want you to listen. I want you to share. I want you to tell a friend. I want you to tag somebody, because we got 7 more episodes, y'all. And I also, yes, I got a plug. I want you to go shop noirroyalebrand.com, because we own that. And I want you to go to the Mindset Reset and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Follow Noir Royale Brand on Instagram and Facebook. And you can find out more about me at linktree.com/Noir Royale Brand. Mr. Norman, 30 seconds. Any thoughts? Any last words? I
hope somebody gets something out of it and appreciate it. That's all I can really give. You know what I'm saying? We having fun. We ain't did nothing but put a fucking mic in the room with us.
That's all. High five.
That's what we do.
That's what we do regularly.
That's all we did.
We do kick it.
I agreed to let the world hear it now. Fuck it. It is what it is. But our world, they already knew it. Trust me.
Well,
Trust me. They already knew it.
I just want to let y'all know I love y'all, and I love you, King.
I love you, Queen.
And thank you for this experience.
You're welcome.
Peace out.